include a cell address in a formula that is called cell reference. Now, in a formula, a cell may be referenced or addressed in three different ways. Now, here you can see that there are basically three types of cell referencing that actually exist: relative referencing, absolute referencing, and mixed referencing. Referencing methods affects the cell address in a formula when it is pasted in a cell. Now let's study about all of this cell referencing with the help of examples. Relative referencing. Now if relative referencing of a cell is used in a formula, the address of the referenced cell changes when the formula is copied into some other cell. Now for example, we can say that consider this cell. Here we have already written the formula to calculate the total. Now if I copy the formula by pressing the Ctrl C key from the keyboard, and if I paste it in its next cell, now you can see here the address of the cell is getting changed in the next cell. And also if I paste it in the third one, as you can see that the cell addresses changes to keep the original relative position of the cells in the formula. Yes, each and every time the cell address is getting changed. So this is basically the relative referencing. Now by default the relative referencing is applied in a worksheet in MS Excel. Now next one is absolute referencing. Absolute referencing is used when we do not want to change the address of the cells when a formula is copied from one cell to another cell. Consider this portion of the worksheet. Now this worksheet I have designed to calculate the simple interest and the amount after interest at a certain years at a given rate. Now the years and the rate, the number of years and the rate of the interest is basically fixed here. Just we have to calculate the interest and the amount according to the principal amount given to us. The interest, now the formula that will be the principal amount multiplied by the rate of interest multiplied by the number of years divided by 100. So this is our interest. Now if we copy this cell reference, means copy this formula and paste it to its next. Now due to relative referencing, you can see in the formula bar, due to relative referencing the cell reference is getting changed here. Now we don't want to change the cell references of B2 and B3. So this one is changing here from B2, B3 and B4. We don't want to change the cell reference of B3 and B4, but it's changing here from B3 and B4. It's changing to B4 and B5. So if we copy these and paste the formula to another cell, B5 and B6. Now the thing is that we don't want to change the cell reference of B2 and B3. That what we want is that whenever this formula is copied, the reference of B2 and B3 should not change. So therefore we have to correct this formula. So to correct the formula, what we will do, we will add a dollar sign before the column number and row number. So before the column name and before the row number, we will add a dollar sign. just hit the enter button from the keyboard. Now again, if we copy this and paste it to other cell, now you can see that in each and every time the reference will remain B2, the reference will remain B3 and B4. So no matter where it is copied to, the cell reference of B3 and B4 is not getting changed here. So with the help of using the dollar sign, we can achieve absolute referencing. Now absolute referencing must be used whenever you want that the reference of a cell in a formula must not change on copying the formula anywhere else on the worksheet. At that moment of time, you will use absolute referencing. Now in some cases, we may want only the row or only the column to remain fixed in a formula. So in that case, we need to use absolute referencing for either a row or a column. Now absolute referencing of column will not change the column, but the row will getting changed relatively. So in the same way, absolute referencing of row is fixed, but row reference fixed, but the column reference will change relatively. This is basically mixed referencing, which is also, we can say that, the combination of absolute referencing and relative referencing. Now consider, for example, consider this portion of the spreadsheet where we have to calculate the interest, where the rate of the interest is basically fixed here, but the number of years, yeah, we have to calculate the principal amount for 3 consecutive years. So for this one, the rate of interest will be principal amount multiplied by rate of interest multiplied by the amount. Now rate of interest should be fixed, so I'm using the dollar sign divided by 100, and for this number of years where the number of years getting changed consecutively, here the principal is from A8, the rate of interest that should be fixed, and the number of years will get changed each and every time, so it becomes C6, and in here it becomes D6 in this formula, D6. But you can see in all three cases the rate of interest means we are fixing the cell reference B3, that should be fixed here. So this is an example of relative referencing, sorry, this is an example of mixed referencing where we are exactly using the absolute and relative referencing altogether.